What's up, guys? It's your girl Joya coming at you live and in action. I am going to tell this story today as a lesson for everybody to be honest on a first date. I recently had a guy totally front about who he was and like what he did to the point he took me to the Clout house to really stick to his story. So I'm gonna tell this story because I'm just so confused by it and shocked, and I hope you guys can relate and learn like be honest on your first dates. So yeah, let's go. So to keep this story short and condensed, I'm gonna fast forward a lot. Basically, I met this kid at a party, really didn't remember too much about him, gave him my number because he felt like he feel like he was cool, like feeling out the situation. I was like, well, you can't be a murderer and you can't kidnap me, so yeah, why not? So we start texting, fast forward, he decides to hang out. So I decide to take him up on his offer and hang out with this guy, and he turns out to be completely different than the guy that's texting. He basically, the whole time we're talking, first of all, we met at a guitar center because he couldn't figure out like a mutual meetup spot. What? Second of all, he told me not to worry about parking. Like he got it. Like it would be free, paid for parking. So there's two strikes. The whole time we're talking, he's just so like, I make all this money. I know this guy, this guy, this guy. Like I'm an influencer. Blah blah blah. And I'm at the point I am ready to leave. Like, we're eating, I'm trying to hold a conversation, it's just not going well. I'm like, I'm never gonna talk to this guy again. Can I leave? So, somehow in the midst of our conversations, it brought up that I'm a big, like, YouTuber fan, and I'm a huge fan of, like, Rice Gum and that whole, like, group. Also came up in a conversation, like, I'm a huge, like, housing person, like, architecture really fascinates me. That's why I love, like, going through the Hollywood Hills and seeing the houses. I've never done it, but I feel like that'd be super cool. So he takes these two facts and is basically like, oh, like, I know Rice Gum, I live in the Hollywood Hills, I go there all the time, like, he would totally, like, be okay with us going. And first of all, I'm like, no, like, we're hanging out right now, like, why would this even remotely, no. Second of all, I'm like, cool, like, great, good job, you're friends, but, like, this is not, I don't care, like, why are you trying to front this so hard? So I was like, okay, like, cool. And he keeps pushing it. He's like, yeah, like, we hang out and party all the time, blah, 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 like, I DJ for all their parties. And I'm like, okay, again, like, I don't care, like, that's super cool of you, like, you live out in LA, like, good for you doing your grind. Gets to the point, he's like, oh, like, let's go meet them. I can't say no because at this point we've driven from where my car is to now a new location. So he's in control of where we go at this point. So I was like, okay, like, I guess we're gonna do this. Like, he goes, basically he says, oh, like, let me take you through the Hollywood Hills, like, you'll love it, like, we can, like, pass by the Clout house, like, I can prove to you, blah, blah, blah. I didn't ask for verification that he knew these guys or, like, where the house was, but again, like, I was not in control of, like, leaving. So I was like, okay. So we're speeding through the Hollywood Hills, and, like, granted, very narrow streets, like, he's almost hitting people, and, like, he's, like, going all these different places and everything else like that. To the point, I was like, oh my god, like, we're gonna hit someone, we're gonna get pulled over, like, we don't belong here. Like, okay. So, we go up the Hollywood Hills, and we stop, and he goes, look. And I look to my right, and there's the Clout house. And I was like, okay. And I was like, oh, so, like, are we gonna go in? Like, you said that you knew these people, like, are we going? Like, okay. And instantly, like, everything changes. He's like, oh, like, they look busy, that's security, they don't know me and everything. And I'm looking at him like, caught you. So I was like, okay, like, no, like, let's get out, like, let's go in, like, like, you know them, they'll be fine, you DJ for them. And granted, we're still parked, like, in front of this house, so now it's not only, like, creepy, but we've hit the point that we've been there too long. So he's like, oh, no, it's fine, like, we should probably leave, like, it's late. So now it hits the point that security is looking at us. And I was like, all right, well, here we go. Like, we're going to get, like, a trespassing thing. And I was like, okay, like, I looked at him, I was like, clearly you don't know them. Like, you brought me up here to try to front, like, it's cool, it's great. So we're trying to leave as he has his tail tucked between his legs and his car stalls. At this point, like, we're literally sitting in front of this house, security is looking at us, we look stupid, and we're just like, I'm like, this is literally the worst day of my life. Like, why am I here? So he finally gets his car to like start, and he like goes back down, goes out, and like tries to drive away. And I'm looking at this kid like, cool. So don't know them. He's like, oh no, like it just wasn't a good night. Still sticking to the story. I was like, dude, we literally just had our car stall. Like, you don't know them. You just backed out of this whole situation. And he's like, oh no, I'm like, it's fine, it's fine. He's like, next time I'll take you in. Like, they looked busy, like, it was late. So I'm like, honestly, no. So he finally drove me back to my car. I said thanks and I left. And so I was really, really confused about that situation. So props to him for sticking to his story. He literally got right up there. I feel like if I would have gotten out of the car, like he would have just lost it, which I should have done. But I was like, no, like he's pulled this enough. So yeah, that's the type of people that you meet in LA. Like they will stick to their stories up until they get caught, and they will still try to play it out. So wow, I need a new dating life. Also, thanks guys for listening to my story. Had to share it with someone, so now I'm sharing it with you guys. As always, subscribe. My videos will get better. Yeah. Alright, guys. Bye bye.